We are editing old photographs, and we've got a mixture here from ones that just need a little bit of work to some we've just photographed in the other room. So I'm going to grab these and take them into my editor of choice, which for me is Camera Raw tonight. And we're going to fix these up a little bit. Now, where do we start? This one is on its side and it's got a bit of a color cast. Okay. So, crop tool. Let's rotate this one. Not that one. We want to undo that. Let's rotate. Perfect. Nice. And I tried hard to photograph it from the top down, but you can see how these lines are not straight. So let's go into geometry. And I'm going to manually do this with some drawing guides. So I'll draw one line down this edge. Chill. And one line down this edge. One line across the top. And one line across the bottom. Now you can do similar stuff with the free transform and skew in Photoshop. Cool. So that's, if we go quick before, after, not too bad. All right, let's give a little look in the basics. I'm going to have a look at the histogram up here, and I think it really could benefit from pulling the blacks down just a little bit and pushing those whites up a little bit too. Cool. Let's have a look. The photo itself is actually pretty clean. Doesn't have too much damage. So I might just go back into our crop tool, tuck in our edges. I'm going to unconstrain my crop. I'm just going to come in there. Cool. Enter. Nice. Happy days. Now, we've got a color cast problem here, don't we, folks? Don't know what color it is. It's just a bit gross. So, pulling it down on the tint does temperature does help a little. But I think we're going to use our funky little trick in Photoshop. So let's open this one. Right. So, Photoshop. Cool. Now we'll get to color grading second last. We'll get to the sharpening last. But in the meantime, let's see if we can spot or clone or heal some of these little imperfections away. The surface of this photo is not too bad actually, but there's a little bit we can do. And I like to make my changes up on a new layer so I can, if I make mistakes, they don't affect the layer underneath. All right. So I'm going to grab my little spot tool and make my brush just a little bit bigger than the spots and get to work in here. Now, when you're working on a new layer, it's very important that we sample all layers or sample current and below, depending on which little tool you're using there. So just going to come in and make a few repairs to this photo. Like I said, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, but we're not going to do that. Do you guys reckon using the spot healing tool works better with your tongue out? Cool. All right, that's pretty good. Like I said, this photo is a pretty neat one. Oh, what's that? Actually, there's a few little whiskers on there we might try and take out. I'm really trying to avoid... I could try... This is a checkered school uniform, so coming in there with... it's a bit fraught trying to fix scratches on that kind of surface. But if I go gently and go with a really thin brush, we might get through it. There we go. Not too bad. All right. So I'm going to copy everything up to a new layer to begin our color correction. So we've talked about this keyboard shortcut a lot, but if you basically hold down all your big 3 modifier keys. So I'm on a Mac. For me, that'll be Command, Option, Shift, and then tap the letter E. Now, if you are on a PC, it'll be Shift, Alt, Control, and tap the letter E. So I'm going to do that. And what we've done is we've combined these 2 layers and put them on a new layer. Now, stay with me for this color correction thing. It takes a few goes, but you'll get the idea. We shall duplicate this layer. And then what we're going to do is we're going to blur it. And blurring it down will reduce it to a color. And we go to the filter menu, we go to the blur menu. The one that works best for this is average. Now, I didn't come up with this. I learned this a long time ago, and I still kind of marvel at why it works, but it'll work. What this has done is it's mushed all this wonderful photo into just a big blur of color. Now, here comes the magic. Come down here to curves, create a curves adjustment layer. It's got to be an adjustment layer. You'll see why in a minute. And then we want to use these white balance tools here. So you can set the black point, you can set the gray point, or you can set the white point. We want to use the gray one to turn this color here to gray. Let's do that. And you can see here that through the magic of curves, it's made these adjustments, and that has neutralized that color. If you think about it, that's what we want to do to this image below. So watch this. If we turn off this color layer, because it's actually done its work, the same process this curves layer used to take the color out of that blurred layer has actually neutralized the color in our picture. This is a video, so if it doesn't make sense, you can't let me know. But watch and rewatch it and just practice those couple of steps a few times. During class time, we've experimented with just a few other little hacks to try and shorten that. They haven't worked, but interesting one. Grab your photo, duplicate it, use the filter, blur, average to get your color, create a curves adjustment layer, and then use the gray tool and select anywhere on that color layer. That'll give you the instructions you need to remove the color cast out of the image under it. Cool. So now that is there, that's almost done. Now, what I want to do is a little bit of sharpening. So I'm going to go and merge up one more time. And we've got a couple of sharpening tools. Obviously in the filter, we've got a whole sharpen menu here. We can use some of those tools. My favorite was in the Camera Raw filter, or Camera Raw. And if you come on down to the detail tab, you can see you've got the sharpening slider here. Now, if I just pull it up a tiny bit, just to wake everything else up, and I like to sharpen at 100%. So I'm zoomed in at 100% here on this photo, which is good. Oh no, here we go. This is actually 100%. There we go. I was on fit before. Now I'm on 100%. Cool. So, like I said, it's not a great photo. I can't necessarily sharpen the photo because it'll depend on the photographer at the time and whether they got it in focus. So, yeah, you're up, Paul. All right, sharpening. Back on this picky. So at 100%, as I sharpen that up, you get to see we're actually sharpening the paper, but it's getting a little bit more detail out of it. Now, what we can also do is we can grab the mask, tap on the slider, hit down the option key, and drag up the mask. So where it goes white, that's where we're applying our sharpening to. And in this particular image, I don't know if it's going to do all that much, but we'll We'll choose as much white that relates to our subject as possible, give it a sharpen, zoom it out, give it a before, give it an after. It has helped a bit. All right, so we'll hit OK then. We'll go through here's our before, and there's our after, and that is a bit of a resurrected image there. If we wanted to do some more cloning, remove some dust and some scratches, your spot healing brush is awesome. If you find that that's not behaving, we can come across to the healing brush. That can work really well too. The nice thing about the healing brush is it will, let's zoom this out, before you can do any work, it'll want you to tell it where to work with. So we can hold down Option or Alt, click, and do a bit of a sample, and we'll do that again, and we'll sample again, and that can work really nicely. If none of those two tools are behaving, you might have to come down to the clone stamp tool, hold down the Alt key, and then paint. And what this is, it's a direct sort of photocopy tool. So wherever we sample, it'll actually copy. And in this case, I'm exaggerating it, but you can see how that would be handy as well.